We started Biennale because we wanted to create a platform for museums and art institutions. What we found was there are lot many art biennales in the world, and some of them are very old. But there is nothing like a platform where museums can meet, art institutions can meet. They can showcase their strength, collection, history, and they can also discuss their issues.
Hi, welcome to Outlook Talks. We are again at Bihar Museum with Anjani ji, the director of Bihar Museum, Director General, and also the Chief Advisor to the Chief Minister. And I have known Anjani ji for a long time, and we have partnered with the Bihar Museum before, and we have learned a lot from how the Bihar Museum functions. It's very so. This is the third Museum Biennale, which is focusing on Global South and kind of breaking free from the global north gaze, which is very interesting in our times because the world order is changing, and a lot of things are being challenged, the whole colonization, this, that, the freedom itself. And at that point, you have an exhibition which also has a lot of these masks from different places that they've got from the global south, which looks at indigenous cultures, the whole mystery of revealing and not revealing, also reassertion of identity. And I think that's very interesting.
Many museums are facing similar issues like issues of autonomy, number of visitors, funding, those type of issues. So we thought of creating a platform for museums and art institutions, and it was considered unique in a sense because nothing like this existed before.
Yeah.
So we invited to begin with our Indian museums, both government, non-government, history museums, contemporary art museums, public sector museums, private museums, and then we discussed and everybody agreed. They said that it's a very welcome thing and let us start a platform where we all will come. So we started in 2021. Unfortunately, because of pandemic, it became virtual, but the second edition was 2023. Virtual, there was an advantage. The advantage was you don't have to physically come to Patna. So many international museums, they did their exhibitions from there itself. And 23, which was second edition, that we did for larger audience, larger participation. And we also got a chance to showcase G20 art exhibition. That together we art, one world, one family, one future. So that chance was very nice for Bihar Museum because we got artworks from member countries, G20, 20 member countries and 9 guest countries. And so because the theme was already identified, so what we planned was, we got one artwork from all these countries and also requested 20 senior Indian artists to work on same theme. So, there was a dialogue between what we got from outside and what our Indian artists did on the same, and that exhibition was very well received. And many other our neighbor countries like Nepal and Thailand, they brought beautiful exhibitions, very popular among people, and that was a great showcasing. And people from Bihar and India, they all were very happy to see the variety, the range of exhibition. The third edition, when we were planning our third edition, then we thought that now let us focus more on similar countries. Because when I used to visit outside, I used to find that all exhibitions, events and those type of activities are more dominated by so-called global north, developed countries. And these countries from global south, they were not getting platform and space that they deserved because they have beautiful art, they have art tradition, very good artists, culture, heritage, but they are not getting such platform to showcase. So then I discussed with these countries and then majority of them agreed. We have not been able to accommodate a very big number, but we are having 8 countries in exhibition. So 8 countries have brought exhibition and many more have participated in our seminars.
Okay. And so why did you decide in the sense to do this global south and look at all these other things like rituals, masks? It was quite interesting that you have brought all of this together in a way that also addresses a lot of the divide, and it's also a very political thing to do in the current times, because the whole narrative is dominated by them. So, उसके बारे में if you can.
Now people are also saying, it happened in history, so it's cyclic. So now what people are saying, ultimately those countries which have, the number and land mass may not be, that big share in world GDP, etc. But ultimately they will prevail. So you'll find that shift is happening from west to east, from global north to global south. Because if you add Asia and Africa, 90% of population of the world exists in these two continents.
Yeah.
So, and they are not getting proper representation.
Yeah.
So that was the issue. And secondly, we also know that everything has flowed from Africa.
Yeah.
Whole civilization and everything. And even you see the even contemporary art of the West, you go to Ethiopia, when you will see their mask, then you will know the whole history of Cubism, from where it started.
Yeah.
So the Western world has taken a lot of inspiration from African, Latin American countries, but some of those countries, their artists, did not get platform. So we thought that Bihar Museum has that infrastructure of holding and hosting international events, so why not give chance to these countries?
And that also is very important because in a time where there's a lot of cultural appropriation going on, we just saw that whole Prada and Kolhapuri chappal. It had happened in the past also. So it's quite interesting to kind of bring to the forefront that, see, this is how it was. Like you talk about Cubism and the Ethiopian mask. The other thing I thought, if you could little bit talk about this exhibition, because this is very interesting in terms of the 5 sections that you've divided it in. You've created a mirror selfie wall also with the Japanese theatre actor situation, and then a lot of other things about the spiritual realm. Then there is festival performance. So why did you decide with the mask?
Mask is a very interesting symbol, and that tells you a lot about their history and culture and ethnic people, their practices. So that is one very good symbol, powerful symbol. If you take that, you know much about their country. By seeing mask, you can say from which country it is coming.
So let's say, sir, if you have to look at this mask,
Africa.
ye wala.
Yes. So you will know, this huge mask, it's made of wood and lot of weight. So for wearing this mask, you have to be very well built.
Yeah.
So that type of population is coming from Africa.
Yeah.
So they can wear that and dance. So that gives you, and mask not only conceals, mask reveals
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And many things, they are using it for festivals, dances, harvest, for many things. And even their shamanism.
Shamanic exorcism.
Exorcism. So for all those practices, it was used and India also is very rich.
Yeah, a lot.
And luckily, because of the space constraint, because we want to highlight more of Global South, so India has been underplayed. But India, if you can do one whole exhibition on Indian masks, huge, beautiful masks. Then just to give flavor, we have also included some contemporary artists like Arpana Kaur,
Seema
Kohli, Sachindra Jha, they are also working in this area. So we have included just to give variety. So this gives you a glimpse of Global South.
Yeah.
Similarly, the second part of exhibition is of paintings. So paintings from these continents and these countries, that also gives you very good view, what is popular where and why, what is the normal art practice, what contemporary artists in those countries are thinking. So that gives you a good glimpse. So these two exhibitions, if you see together, then you get a very good idea of Global South.
And there's another one which was very interesting where you have, I think, Thailand, Indonesia, about the Ramayana thing, and Sri Lanka as well.
Yeah. So these are the two exhibitions, main exhibitions in the main exhibition space. Then we have in the first installment, we are showcasing Ethiopia and Indonesia in our multipurpose hall. These two countries. So Ethiopia, you see, is mind blowing. Their textile.
Beautiful, actually.
Their textile is mind blowing. Then Indonesia puppetry, and they also have beautiful textiles and many things. So those two exhibitions are also becoming very popular. The government of India did one Pravasi Divas,
Bharatiya Divas.
Bharatiya Pravasi Divas in Odisha, ICCR.
Yeah.
So ICCR has curated one exhibition. So from that exhibition, you have taken that part, which is from Global South. So that exhibition also has come up very nicely. How Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Hanuman, Ravan, how all these were seen in different ways in different countries. And that also tells you about the influence, intermingling of culture, the trade, how things have gone from India, influenced those countries.
And also the mixing of stories.
Mixing of stories. You have the whole thing of Ramayana.
Yeah.
So that exhibition is also very nice. Sri Lanka, we got contemporary artists.
Yeah.
Because one thing that was very different this time was we asked these countries, we did not give them a theme, common theme.
Yeah.
Many people asked me that what will be the theme for this
Yeah, and you also
Biennale.
went without a curator in that sense.
Yeah.
So which was a brave step. I mean.
Yeah, so the Biennale. So what we said is, you bring your best. What you want to showcase, we are not going to interfere. The story you want to tell, people to know, whatever you want. So they have brought their strength. And that's why, so there is no binding, there is no boundary.
Yeah.
They have got that chance, so they have brought beautiful mixed of artifacts that is telling a good story of these countries.
So you talked to me about this person from Ecuador and the coffee thing, which was a very interesting one and kind of like also challenges the preconceived notions about origins of things.
Like Ecuador is bringing in second installment, they are bringing the story of cocoa.
Yeah.
Because now some archaeological excavation has proved they have got a pot which says that it has something of cocoa. So they are saying it started from there. So they want to show that story. Then they have a beautiful island with great biodiversity. So that they are showcasing. Then the life and culture through some contemporary artists. So that is again becoming, they are not bringing one thing.
Yeah.
They are bringing a combination.
Yeah.
So that is one nice thing.
And I think also it's a whole thing of reassertion of that of the fact that see, this is where it came from and this is who we are, so that we have a history of taking over, what we call colonization in other words.
Yes.
And so I mean it's also very political. So
yes.
Do you ever get?
No, it is happening. Like if you go to, I went to US, I went New Jersey, some museum. You go, you find very large amount of our artifacts.
Yeah.
Like there was one exhibition on Asian bronze in in Amsterdam, Rijksmuseum. So if you see that composition of that exhibition, more than 50% is from India only.
Yeah.
It has not gone from Bihar Museum or National Museum. Part of that we gave.
Yeah.
We also became partner in that exhibition, but more than half is from India.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world is another half. But it is coming from different museums, British Museum, Metropolitan Museum and all those museums where it went much earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Few things are coming back, that is nice. Some countries are returning. But slowly people are, especially now, we are having that same situation here. So wherever excavation is taking place, now people are saying that it's our property.
Yeah.
So that ownership, what they are saying is, no, you cannot take it out and to some different museum, far flung, you create a site museum. So there is now a huge demand of site museums.
Yeah.
Like in Telhara, where we had a very important excavation, Buddhist period, and very, very important exhibition, which is still undergoing. So there people insisted that you have to have a site museum, and government had to make a site museum.
Yeah, because otherwise,
it's not like
gone.
that everything will be in Patna,
Yeah.
or everything will be in Delhi, or everything will be in London. So gone are those days.
Yeah.
Now people are saying, no, if it has come from here, so it has to be here.
Okay. And so another thing is like, with all of this that is happening, and you talked about the autonomy, and we all know that, museums also, we partnered with you guys in the last Biennale, and we did discuss this democratization of museums and also the future of museums. And now 2 years later, with this exhibition, how do you think it's going to go in the future?
The role and character of museums changed very significantly.
Yeah.
Earlier it was most of the museums were buildings and collection. You may have a beautiful collection and building, but how many times people will go for that?
Yeah.
Once, twice. So museums have to convert themselves into cultural space, center of activities. You have to keep on creating activities for different stakeholders. Then only ownership from the society will come. Otherwise, it will continue to be a jadughar or touristic place. People will come and go once.
Yeah.
But if you want, poets, artists, literature, music, performing art, all to be connected, so you have to provide that space. So museum, my collection is fine, building is beautiful, but that alone is not sufficient. So you have to keep on curating activities, bringing people, people exchanging things.
Yeah.
Exchange is another area. In fact, India has more than 1,000 museums. So how many museums have exchange exhibition? Very few.
Very few. Why?
Very few. Because the first thing is you require that type of infrastructure. Then you need those type of openness and rules.
Yeah, and vision also maybe.
Vision also. Otherwise what happens, sending artifacts from one museum to another museum is so complicated and bureaucratic.
Very.
Unless you change your rules, it's very difficult.
Very difficult.
So you can keep very nice thing in say place called Assam or some very interior Karnataka, but people will see only when it is exchanged to various museums and various platforms.
Yeah, like we can come to see here all of these things. Yeah.
So that is our conscious policy, that now we are taking our exhibition outside India, outside Bihar, in India, and we are also getting exhibitions from outside. Because once people are coming here, seeing our infrastructure, because naturally, the good museums will require, particular standard of infrastructure.
Yeah.
They want good lighting, air conditioning, security, curatorial team. Unless you have all this, the good exhibitions will not come.
Yeah.
You have to have infrastructure. So that is one area. Now Bihar Museum has infrastructure. Many more museums are coming or adding their infrastructure. So things will improve and improving. They are improving.
You were a geography student, and this whole thing is also very geographical in a way, right? Like, so the politics of geography and how these certain areas like Africa, we don't hear much from Africa. So if you look at even the media landscape, we hardly cover, because of whatever, I think, preconceived notions, and there's a lot of stigma also around a lot of these places. So I just wanted to understand from your perspective, like when you thought about it, I mean, I'm sure it was your idea, but how did geography play its role in terms of like looking at it and cutting the whole thing into two hemispheres, like north, south?
No, it's very important. It just, its distribution is like that.
Yeah.
Most of these countries were colonies.
Yeah.
Were colonies. They became independent much after. But when I visited this country, I found they have very rich history and culture. Very rich. Very rich. Problem was the infrastructure, not good museums. Funding was an issue in most of the places.
And maybe the will also.
In fact, you will find now things are changing very significantly. But if you go to Africa, you will find that all good artists from different countries of Africa, they are either in South Africa.
Yeah.
No, some of them have gone to say New York, Paris, London, the best ones. But otherwise, they go to South Africa because they have galleries, they have those type of facilities, infrastructure, people are ready to buy. Art is an investment.
Yeah.
So otherwise you will see in South Africa and Ethiopia, though artists may be in Kenya, other places, Congo, Sudan, everywhere.
Yeah.
But somehow that type of slowly, because art, whatever you say, ultimately remains, first is that roti kapda makan, then only, but their music, their dance, their performances, very strong.
Very
in spite of, whatever is their level of economy, these things have remained very strong historically. We wanted to showcase this and we wanted the world to see. That's why we are making two publications. We are making one publication where we have discussed issues of Global South. That is based on our seminars that we have done. Dr. Alka Pandey has curated that. And other one is on exhibitions. So Batul Raj's team, Mehta's team, BRM team has done all this design and these things. So they will be bringing a book on these exhibitions. So there will be two publications. One are seminars, academic, another will be exhibitions.
And the other thing is that you have always, So how do you make this reach the public in a way that it's simple and people, like we see a lot of people coming in from, we have been here for 2 days and like a lot of people are coming from villages and all kinds of places and very intrigued. I mean, looking at all this very interestingly, and you have the Chow mask also from India
Yes.
and all of that. So how do you make that happen, the connect?
So one way is, do it for a longer period. Because that was another problem in India. Most of the exhibitions, because they were done in galleries, 1 week, 1 fortnight, 1 month. But that we have changed. Like this exhibition is for more than 4 months. It started from 7th August and it will continue till 31st December. So you have sufficient time.
Yeah.
Come according to your own convenience whenever you want to come, and not to make monotonous for the local people.
Yeah.
We are also changing some exhibition after 1.5 months, 2 months. So they keep seeing.
So there's some newness. Every time.
So you have to come again and again if you want to see everything, and that keeps things interesting even for the local people. And this time there was another step that we have taken, that earlier all the activity used to be in Bihar Museum. Now Patna is developing as a city of museums.
Okay.
You have many museums now.
How many now?
You have Buddha Smriti Park. There is a very good museum on Buddha. Now we have Bapu Tower on Mahatma Gandhi. We have already had a Gandhi museum, Gandhi Ashram in Patna. Then you had Science Museum. Now we are making a very big Science Museum that will get inaugurated. Patna Museum has been revamped, and now a lot of space has been added. The whole thing is getting changed. Bihar Museum. Then we are creating a very huge museum in Vaishali.
Okay.
That is on the life of Lord Buddha. And the ashes of Lord Buddha, which was in Patna Museum, that is getting shifted to Vaishali Museum.
Okay.
And there is a huge infrastructure in 62 acres. So you have in 50 square kilometer, you have 7-8 museums. We plan to have one ticket, like foreign countries, developed countries. You can buy one ticket, see all museums.
All the museums.
And leisurely, you can see in 1 week,
or
3
1
days,
month or whatever.
1 month, whatever. So we'll have that type of ticket and go. So slowly that type of culture, museum going culture is developing.
And why, sir, in Bihar and Patna? Because a lot of people also criticize, and we have talked about this before, about Bihar Museum, that why a poor state should fund such a big museum, and such a, and the architecture itself, which is very different from what you see around. So when you say that a city of museums...
No, we have faced this question, that why money is not going on roads, electricity, schools. I said it's going, so all things are changing.
Yeah.
Bihar, now in electricity, you have everywhere electricity 23 hours, even in the rural areas.
Yeah.
And roads, people are, I'm not saying, people are saying, although that infrastructure is developing, but our strong point is Bihar can develop using its soft power. You don't have that type of land,
yeah, we don't have
that type of deposit of minerals that you can be heavily industrialized and bring those big industries, they will never come. So our route will be agriculture, education, tourism, art, heritage and culture. So for us it is very significant. That is part one. Part two is that we had such a glorious past. We had Patliputra was capital of India. At that time India was bigger than what it is today. So that glory, that zenith of art, culture and everything. So this younger generation, not only of Bihar and India, they should know and they should get inspired by that. And thirdly, it will increase. It is increasing already. Tourism in Bihar, and that type of soft power. Many countries have used their soft power to develop their economy.
Yeah, that is true.
So if you don't have that type of combination of mineral, land and that type of, so we have to find a route, and Bihar has selected this route.
The other questions I was very intrigued about, see what museums can learn from all this, right? Because we have been seeing an era of museums where people hardly go. It becomes one of those places where you're either kind of doing very dead narratives or promoting like one person or the other. I mean, it's pretty much like it's not intriguing enough, let's say, for a lot of people to go and see. I mean, we were talking the other day, a lot of museums are pretty much empty these days. I mean, there's not much growth, or how do you say, there's not much courage in terms of showing something which is very different and which takes a lot of guts. So what can museums learn from the Bihar Museum and the Museum Biennale, and in terms of putting this kind of stuff out?
No,
Because this has been existing from before also.
No, if you see, if we still follow those norms and rules which was created during, say, colonial period,
Yeah.
then you will remain bureaucratic, following rules,
Yeah.
closed, those type of, may have very good collection, but if you are not showing people, not people are interacting with that in
Yeah.
an interesting manner, people will not come. That problem was faced by many museums. So many museums had to make it free entry. We charge highest in India, 100 rupees. Of course, for children and students, you have quite subsidized tickets.
But you still see a lot of crowd.
Lot of crowd. But so that's why. And another is, you cannot keep now museum very elitist.
Yeah.
So if the museum is for the society, if my 95% of visitors are local people, so when I plan anything, any activity or any edition, maybe technological display or anything, they are in front of me. So who is my visitor? That question museums will have to answer. Who is coming? And who is getting excited, happy? So you have to keep that in mind. You can make very, very sophisticated elitist museum, but then the number will be very small.
Yeah.
If it is not very interactive, like in our children's section, the first thing we started, we said, here there will be nowhere don't. It will be, we are encouraging children, we are saying, please touch, please feel, please experience, please play.
Yeah.
So it's very unlike museum.
Yeah.
But so when we are designing that, we selected those type of materials.
That you can like touch.
That you can touch, feel, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And there is some wear and tear that of course we will repair or do improve.
Yeah, or fix it, yeah.
We will maintain it. We will maintain it. But unless you, so children in our children's section is very excited. So many museums, not only from India, from outside, they have come and they have picked up that, our strategy of doing a children museum. You can, how can you have a children's section and don't allow children to play, touch and
kind of,
feel and play?
Yeah,
that cannot be done.
No, and also the fact that we are living in very interesting times, because the whole concept of power and supremacy is being challenged every day now. Look at what has happened in the world geopolitics situation. So in that time, this exhibition is quite timely and very, very, very.
Yes. And another very important dimension is, now you have to make your museum experiential, and your style should be a storytelling.
Yeah, completely.
What is happening in many museums, you have such a description, written in very archaeological style.
Yeah.
And so people don't understand.
No, but then they always, like, we've asked this question, they'll always say that, oh, but this is what a gallery would prefer, or this is what sets us apart from other people, and then this whole thing of sounding like an intellectual or whatever it's acceptable in the art world.
No, exactly. So it has to be very simple.
Yeah.
It has to be very simple.
But then they'll say, "Wo dumb hai, log ko."
No, so no, if it is some simple and your style is storytelling, and if you have used your labeling and small stories, in between I have made interactive, asked questions, then people start taking interest and enjoying things.
Exactly.
Enjoying things. And if your descriptions are very cryptic and very complicated, it does not matter for a general person. Anything is of 1530 or 1630, what difference that makes?
Yeah.
It can make in academic and
discourse
for
and all that.
That is fine. For that you give right information. Our job is to give right information.
Yeah.
But give in such a style people understand.
No, and I also think that there's a huge political statement you're also making here by saying that, okay, we trust the people who are coming here. Okay, so we underestimate other people. We always think they're dumb, unko samajh nahi aayega. So we will thopo or impose our viewpoint on them. But यहाँ पे, when I look at this festival and performance, the 5 line you have just let it be. There's not too much explanation, too much imposition of your view of the mask and festivals and the whole.
This we have learned. This we have learned from people.
Yeah.
Like, earlier in our history gallery, we had that typical type of labels. So our chief minister and many visitors told us, number one, increase the size of
The
font
font.
size so that it is easily readable.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, line 2 lines, 3 lines about that sculpture or whatever you
Yeah.
are showing in a simple language.
Yeah.
In a simple language. So people said, and we did it. We did it. Happily did it.
Yeah.
And we are finding now it's much better.
Much better.
Much
ऐसा
better.
you never think that people will think that हम intellectual नहीं है और जैसे कि अगर आप कहीं भी जाके if you see this long description with all these words and intersectionality is one of the most thrown around words. But how do you like kind of counter that in your own way? And since you did not come from you're a bureaucrat, right? And then you built this museum and
No, ये तो when this vision of our Chief Minister, Mr. Nitish Kumar, when we planned,
Yeah.
the story is like this. We wanted to add some space in Patna Museum. So our Chief Minister went there. We were thinking how to expand and all that. So Chief Minister said, why to add a space? You create a new space, international level space, because you have international, very high quality of artifacts. They require better,
Display and all.
let us maintain the identity of Patna Museum. It's a very old, beautiful museum. So that will remain, but you develop a new one. So then Bihar Museum was created. Ultimately, this Bihar Museum and Patna Museum, if you see on historical timeline, so from civilization to 17 odd is here, and the rest is Patna Museum. And Patna Museum also is getting revamped with modern infrastructure,
yeah, I saw it.
lighting,
Very nice actually.
and with then getting connected by art tunnel.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning, we were very clear. We were very clear that it has to be world class. It has to be it should fill a gap, national gap, because this type of infrastructure should come more and more.
And it's very interesting that people are coming to Bihar, right?
Yeah.
Like, from everywhere.
So now there is a pressure on different states also. They are also improving their museum infrastructure. So that time, and it has to be for people.
Yeah.
So that was very clear in the mind. It's not for academics.
No.
No, they are welcome.
They're welcome. They
They
can
are
do their
welcome.
own,
Everybody is that they are welcome. But primarily it is for general people, for the society, for the society.
And the other thing is that if you can just take one mask or anything that you thought was very intriguing and in terms of like you wanted to kind of...
No, naturally I'll tell about my own mask from Patna Museum.
Yeah, the terracotta one.
Terracotta one,
Yeah.
that is 1st or 2nd century. It's very beautiful. That time terracotta mask. So even terracotta, if you go to the history, even rock paintings, you will see some painting of masks. So mask is not a very recent origin.
Yeah.
It's very, very old thing.
Very old, yeah.
Very old thing. Maybe for decoration, festivity and all type of things. But it's very, very
No,
old.
I
history.
also heard, I was reading in a lot of times the judges in courts in the olden days used to wear masks so that they don't get incriminated later for pronouncing a certain kind of judgment. So the mask was everywhere, it seems.
Yeah. Unfortunately, now the criminals wear masks when they are robbing a bank or doing crime.
Yeah.
You see in all those Netflix movies.
Yeah.
So but it has gone a long way.
No, it's also been, kind of like stigmatized in a sense that, if you look at the horror films, the witches will wear something like that, or the Ku Klux Klan, so the mask is across, I think.
Yeah, but it has remained very important part of the society and culture.
It's very intriguing now that, you see all these, and then I didn't know that Assam would have such an interesting...
Yes, all states. In fact, there should be, maybe we may do it, there should be one full exhibition on Indian masks.
Exactly.
Indian masks.
Yeah, because look at that Assam one.
Yeah.
Or look at even the Chow masks actually.
Beautiful.
No, so we just wanted to say congratulations and it's a great...
No, there has been a great partnership with Outlook. In fact, last Biennale also you covered in great detail. This year also you are doing a great job. So that is, that partnership, that relationship has also, taken our Biennale to, on that stage, national and international stage. So it has been, benefiting to both parties.
Yeah.
We
learned so much about museums and how do you take museums to the people, and it also helps us in our work to be simple and to be brave. I think one of the things that I think Bihar Museum has done is being really brave. I mean, you have smashed, look at what all kinds of things. You've not had a curator, which is unthinkable in terms of art galleries.
It's very interesting. It's, each country, they brought things. They have brought the concept, they have selected the artifacts. Then the BRMA team designed
Yeah.
based on the collection that is coming here. They designed and they said, this will be displayed like this.
Yeah.
So that design part, co-curation part is from BRMA,
Yeah.
Batul Raj Mehta's team. And but these countries had freedom what they will bring.
Yeah, there was no
And
imposition
they
of-
also told us that this is our story.
Yeah.
So we have not disturbed that story.
No, which is such a
We have gone with that story.
yeah, and also there's a lot of friendship in terms of that you showcased, Indonesia, India, all these other places, Sri Lanka, India, which is also a nice thing, when everybody is talking about wars. Here is a museum and a museum Biennale which is talking about friendships also.
Last year Biennale also we had two neighbors like Thailand and Nepal. This time we have Sri Lanka and Indonesia.
Yeah.
So we are also taking our neighbors. That is a family,
No, which is
larger
interesting,
family.
because we need to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
No, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Very nice.